Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. Breaking out of the UK this morning, Buckingham Palace has announced that Charles III has cancer. We'll tell you what doctors advise the king about his public duties. And a Victoria family on edge after a stray bullet hit their home during a shooting last week. 25 News now spoke with the mother, who's calling for an end to shootings in her neighborhood. And wet weather drenched the West Coast, including Southern California, where rising floodwaters have caused severe damage and has left drivers stranded and calling for water rescues. The details on this story and more coming up.
And we still got that spring weather is kind of hanging on to us right now. And it's going to be like that for the rest of this week until we get a cool front this weekend. We'll take a look at that the weather coming up.
We have a battle of two top 5 Crossroads teams tonight. Here from the home team coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
And I'm Parker Cox.
And today it's the 6th day of February 2024. And the time is now 6:30 on our Tuesday morning, and it's National Chopsticks Day.
Chopsticks Day. It is Chopsticks Day. And actually, I brought a little prop this morning, Carolina. Actually, for Christmas, I got these little Star Wars light up lightsaber kind of chopsticks. But I am terrible with chopstick skills, so I'm going to let you show us your chopstick skills, Carolina.
I think I can do this, right?
Oh, yeah, you're ready. Way better than me. Look at that.
Peppermint, look at that.
Look at that. Genius.
Although it would be weird to eat with these, Parker.
Oh, yeah. Probably a little weird to eat a peppermint with those, but.
Well, how's it looking out there for us today?
Well, Carolina, it is not too bad of a day. We're actually going to be nice and warm for the rest of this week. But this morning, if y'all tuning in with us right now, you're looking at a live look at Victoria, where look at that beautiful sunrise as that sun's slowly starting to come up. We got a nice little pink hue in there, a little bit of blue in there, everything. Nice pretty purple sky out there this morning. But like we were saying, it is going to warm up nicely today out of this little bit chilly weather right now, about 43 out there right now. Also a little bit humid at 97%. Looking at your humidities for the rest of the area, a lot of us are seeing some of the high humidities this morning, to which some of us could be seeing some fog. Looking at your visibilities right now, some of us are seeing some of those single-digit visibilities out there right now, but nothing crazy. Just going to be a little bit of really thin fogs. But if you do see some like random little patchy areas of thick fog, please be careful out on the roads this morning. But looking at your weather headlines for the rest of this week, we're going to start warming up today. Today's the first day of the rest of this week where we're going to be nice and warm, but it's going to be a little bit dreary in the late week as we get a little bit of cloud cover coming our way as well before that cool front comes through on Sunday. But looking at your winds, and it's going to start warming up today, like I said, and that's all because of the southerly wind coming right back out of the Gulf this afternoon, actually this evening, which is going to keep all of that warm and humid air off the Gulf right back on top of us for the rest of this week. But it's going to stick around this rest of this week. Also a little bit windy tomorrow as well, but today only warming up to about 70. I think if we get lucky, we hit 70. And same thing for the rest of this week, coming off of a couple lows, and all of those southerly winds. We'll take a look at that more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Country singer Toby Keith has died after a battle with stomach cancer. A statement posted on his website and social media page say the singer passed away peacefully on Monday, surrounded by his family. Keith announced in June 2022 that he was diagnosed with stomach cancer. The multi-platinum selling singer tweeted at the time that he had surgery and chemotherapy and radiation in the prior 6 months. He performed at the 2023 People's Choice Awards in September and received the Country Icon Award. Toby Keith was 62 years old. Buckingham Palace announced in a statement Monday that King Charles III has been diagnosed with cancer. The statement says, quote, during the King's recent hospital procedure for benign prostate enlargement, a separate issue of concern was noted. Subsequent diagnostic tests have identified a form of cancer. The news comes a week after both Kate and the King were discharged from a private London clinic after individual procedures. The 75-year-old King underwent a corrective procedure for an enlarged prostate, while Kate had an unspecified abdominal surgery on January 17th. The statement also said that His Majesty has commenced a schedule of regular treatments, during which time he's advised by doctors to postpone public-facing duties. King Charles ascended the throne last year in a May coronation ceremony, months after the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II. A stray bullet has a Victoria family on edge this morning. The family says the bullet struck their home following a shooting last Thursday. 25 News Now reporter Darius McCormick spoke with the family yesterday afternoon. The family says they're scared for their safety and their pet safety. The mother wants to know, what will it take to stop all the gunshots in their neighborhood?
Put a stop to this. 10 years is enough.
The Victoria County Sheriff's Office responded to a call from Mary Sierra on February 1st. A stray bullet hit a room in her home while her daughter was working out.
It came from this direction over here, and there's a hole right here on this wall.
Then the bullet ricocheted throughout the room, so she immediately dropped to the ground.
So I dropped down like this, which was a mistake because it could have still came back this way. I could have just got shot right now. Am I supposed to even be alive? Did this just happen? I am terrified, panicking. My heart was just racing.
But that's the little ladder that I stood on.
Mary saw the shots fired towards her home. Shortly after that, Gabriella called her in a panic.
I thought it hit her because, the way she was so panicked when she called me, I said, oh my goodness. In the tail.
She says the gunshots are a consistent issue for the neighborhood. Shots have been fired at several of their pets over the past few months. Gabriella says seeing her animals in pain is heartbreaking.
When you love animals, you're going to do whatever you can to save them. But it's the trauma that seeing them suffer, like there's actual pain and emotion written on their faces.
Mary says one of their dogs, Casper, was tortured by someone in the neighborhood.
They were shooting him with a pellet gun. He went through so much torture. We found him tied in the field so that the vultures can take over.
Now the Sierra family wants law enforcement to crack down on the person responsible for the gunfire. They do not want to live in fear anymore.
Do I have to lose one of my children for them to respond? When does it stop?
The Victoria County Sheriff's Office says they're investigating the situation as a deadly conduct case. The Victoria County Sheriff's Office found a man with several pounds of cocaine during a traffic stop Sunday. The man reportedly had his wife and young children in the vehicle along with the narcotics. Deputies stopped the vehicle on U.S. Highway 59 northbound near Post Oak Road. During a search, they found 13 wrapped bundles of a white powdery substance. Those bundles tested positive for cocaine. Deputies say they seized 25 pounds of cocaine from the vehicle. The driver, 47-year-old Hector Cantu Guerrero of Houston, now faces charges of the manufacturing and delivery of a controlled substance. He's in the Victoria County Jail on a $50,000 bond. Charges are pending against his wife. Deputies with the Victoria County Sheriff's Office arrested 42-year-old Jonathan Reyes for a traffic violation on U.S. Highway 59 last Thursday. Reyes had refused deputies' request to search his vehicle, and after a K-9 unit did a free air sniff search of his vehicle, they found money wrapped in 5 cellophane plastic bundles with a masking agent. The total amount that police found was approximately $150,514. Authorities arrested Reyes and charged him with money laundering and a Money Services Act violation. An Ocampo woman is in custody in the Wharton County Jail. 25-year-old Ashley Olguin is facing 3 charges. She's charged with intoxication manslaughter with a vehicle, and she also faces 2 counts of intoxication assault with the vehicle. Olguin is in jail in lieu of a $1.3 million bond. A SWAT-style raid at a Wharton hotel Thursday captured the man believed responsible for 3 armed robberies, 2 of which took place in Ocampo. The Ocampo Leader News reports authorities say 40-year-old Christopher King of Bay City robbed 2 businesses in Ocampo along with a convenience store last month in Bay City. King was tracked down in Wharton and was taken into custody without incident. King faces 3 charges of aggravated robbery. He's in the Wharton County Jail in lieu of a $150,000 bond. Severe weather battering the West Coast, including Southern California. Flooding has gotten so bad some drivers needed to be rescued from the rising waters. Weather also caused problems throughout the city, including Studio City, where reports of mudslides were heard, and rain began early Sunday afternoon in Los Angeles' San Fernando Valley and is forecasted to continue into today. The FAA says that most of the Boeing 737 MAX planes have returned to service. That's after the FAA grounded all the MAX 9s one day after a door plug blew off an Alaska Airlines plane while in flight. The FAA says they've completed almost 94% of their inspections, and 135 out of 144 aircraft that were grounded have returned to service. And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, how confident are you in the safety of Boeing airplanes? Let's take a look. 22% of you say very, and 42% of you say somewhat, and 37% of you, or rather 36% of you, say not at all. We want to keep hearing from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. And remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:39 on our Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. U.S. Senator John Cornyn announced SkyWest Airlines will get nearly $20 million in federal funds for Victoria Airlines services.
The bipartisan Senate deal to adjust the southern border is apparently doomed. I'm Micah Jachi reporting in Washington. Coming up, why many Republicans are suddenly doing an about-face.
And also coming up after the break, we'll take a look at your school bus forecast, followed by your weather and health forecast, and later on Sunrise to take another look at that cool front and the rain that's coming our way over the weekend. Well, good morning, Crossroads. If y'all are tuning in with us this morning, you're looking at a live look at Cuero. Well, look at that. That sun's starting to come up in the sky, revealing that nice, clear, sunny skies this morning, where it's going to be a nice day today. But right now, starting out your morning, a little bit chilly. Right now, about 42 degrees up there in Cuero, but humidity is at 96% with that dew point 2 degrees off. So might be a very tiny thin layer of fog out there this morning, but nothing kind of dangerous or anything like that. But if you're seeing your kiddos at the door this morning, it's going to be about 43 or I guess 41 or 42 like you just saw there in Cuero. And as they head back home, you might want to pack up a jacket because in the morning it can be a little chilly, but they'll be taking that off later because it's going to be nice and sunny today, hitting about 70 degrees. I think if we get lucky, we'll hit 70. It's going to be a nice day overall, and for the rest of this week, it's going to be nice. But looking at your weather and health forecast, tree pollen is still kind of hanging out in the area because of all that strong winds. We had gusting up to 51 miles an hour yesterday, but for the rest of this week, everything is on the rise. The temperatures, the cloud cover, and the rain chances coming this weekend. I'll take a look at that and more in just a few moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Two area powerhouses hit the field, and some news regarding Victoria West's realignment. Here's sports reporter Zach Brown.
Calhoun Soccer comes into this week ranked at number 4, El Campo. They're number 2, and they play each other tonight in El Campo. Last year, these two tied in Game 1, and Calhoun won the second time around, and they nearly met each other in the state semifinals in Katy. But that was last year. The Rice Birds ready to defend the home turf.
We've kind of talked about it that we're trying to be the two best teams in our district and in our region, and frankly the state. But at the end of the day, we're worried about ourselves. We're not really worried about who we're playing or what kind of obstacles we may face. We set a state mentality that everything we're going to do it to a state standard, and we're holding ourselves to that standard the entire year. It's going to take relentless effort. It's going to take everything that we have to be able to stay in the game, and I hope we pull it out at the end.
That game in El Campo tonight at 7:30. And this from Victoria ISD Athletic Director Spencer. Again, after multiple conversations with administration, they have decided to appeal the UIL's decision on realignment. The appeals process is underway, should go to the UIL committee on February 20th. That's for Victoria West, by the way, and I believe they're not trying to get into the conference with Victoria East. They're just trying to get it closer to the Corpus schools so the travel isn't ridiculous. With your 25 Sports Now, I'm Zach Brown.
Thank you, Zach. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. For the first time in years, Republicans and Democrats have come up with a bipartisan plan to address the border. It's drawn support from both sides of the aisle as well as from the conservative-leaning Border Patrol Union. But Republicans in the House still say the bill is dead on arrival.
This morning, it's being called the most sweeping border security package in decades, but it appears to be going nowhere. In a meeting with Republicans last night, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell reportedly recommended a no vote on the first procedural vote set for Wednesday, just hours after he advocated for the bill on the Senate floor.
And it's now time for Congress to take action on supplemental national security legislation that finally meets those challenges head on.
A bipartisan group of senators unveiling the $118 billion package that adds $20 billion to strengthen border security, hiring new officers and Border Patrol agents. It also includes a trigger mechanism that automatically shuts down the border if migrant apprehensions reach 5,000 a day. The bill also contains $60 billion for Ukraine and $14 billion for Israel. The conservative Border Patrol Union endorsing the deal, and its acting commissioner says it provides them with the strongest set of tools we have had in decades. New doubts from Senate Republicans followed days of pressure from former President Trump to kill the bill.
This is a Democrat trap. It's a trap for Republicans that would be so stupid, so foolish to sign a bill like this. This bill can't be signed.
House Speaker Mike Johnson also doing an about-face. In November, he pushed for a bipartisan agreement. Now, he calls the bill a waste of time and dead on arrival.
I just don't believe that the Senate bill, as I've explained in all of our statements, meets the criteria that's necessary to solve the problem.
President Biden with a clear message to Speaker Johnson. Pay attention to what the Senate is doing.
We got a bipartisan deal all this time, and now they're starting about the border. It's out of control. Well, guess what? Everything in that bipartisan bill gives me control.
This current battle over the border leaves wartime funding for Ukraine and Israel up in the air. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
U.S. Senator John Cornyn announced SkyWest Airlines will get nearly $20 million in federal funds for Victoria Airline services. The funds will come over in a 3-year term to support essential air services to and from the Victoria region. This includes 12 round-trip flights per week from Victoria Regional Airport to Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston. Airport Director Lenny Lorena says that this will help attract business to the region.
End of everything, it makes our community more, gives more advantageous reasons for people to move their companies to this area, since you have actual commercial service via United Airlines serving the community.
Senator Cornyn says that this funding will provide improved connectivity, tourism, and economic opportunity in Southeast Texas. The time is now 6:48 on our Tuesday morning. Still to come, Meta's oversight board ruled a manipulated video of the president can remain online.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. It did get a little bit of a cool front coming our way over this last weekend, which is why we only heated up to 63 yesterday afternoon. But if you didn't like that kind of cooler weather, got some good news for you. It is going to be nice weather for the rest of this week. Today, we're going to get up to about 70. I think if we get lucky, we'll hit 70 today. But tomorrow as well, and the next day, going to be in the 70s for the rest of this week. And all of that is because we got southerly wind returning to our area. It's actually going to be returning this evening, coming out of the Gulf, bringing all of that warm and humid air right back on top of us before tomorrow. It gets yet again windy again. But yesterday, no, it's not going to be anywhere near as windy as it was yesterday or Sunday, because yesterday we had gusts up to 51. It is a very windy last couple of days. But take a look at that big storm, that big system over there in California, where they have seen a foot of rain. That's going to come our way eventually later this week and into this weekend, giving us here in the Crossroads a cool front and a good shot at some rain chances. We'll take a look at that more in just a few more moments. Back to Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Meta's Oversight Board ruled a manipulated video on Facebook of President Biden can remain online. The video posted last spring was edited to make it seem as if he touched his adult granddaughter repeatedly and inappropriately. The video said, or rather the board said, the video does not violate the Facebook Parents Manipulated Media policy because of a problematic loophole. The policy only applies to videos altered by AI, and that makes it appear as if a person said something they did not. The policy may only be enforced in a situation in which both conditions are fulfilled. Also, the policy does not apply to manipulated audio. The board said the loophole threatens elections worldwide and should be closed as soon as possible. And still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. The House Rules Committee has advanced Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas' impeachment resolution. The House Rules Committee has advanced Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas' impeachment resolution. That resolution passed on a party line vote of 8 yeas to 4 nays. Now it moves to the floor, where it will be heard and voted on later this afternoon. If the article passes today, it will be then up to Speaker Mike Johnson to decide how soon to send it over to the Senate. The National Weather Service has these river flood warnings posted for the Crossroads. A river flood warning for Victoria and Calhoun counties in effect until early Saturday morning for the Guadalupe River near Bloomington. At 1 o'clock this morning, the river was at 25.8 feet, flood stage is 20 feet.
20 feet.
20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 feet. 20 A river flood warning, in effect for Jackson County until later this morning near the Lavaca River near Edna. At 7 o'clock last night, that river was at 26 feet. Flood stage is 21 feet. The new fire chief for the city of Victoria brings 30 years of experience in firefighting and rescue to the department. George Gomez was sworn in yesterday as the new fire chief. Gama says it's the professionalism, leadership, and care shown to the community that has really impressed him.
Talented and amazing. They are a leader, one to be recognized and emulated, and I'm just so honored and proud, but yet humble to be a part of this team.
Gomez has 30 years of experience, which includes 16 years of field patrol experience plus 14 years of leadership and administrative assistance, all within the City of Dallas Fire and Rescue Department. He began his new position February 1st and has 2 sons who are also firefighters. Governor Abbott expected in Victoria Thursday to support Jeff Bouknight for the District 30 House seat. It starts at 10:30 a.m. at the Victoria College Emerging Technology Complex. That's at 7403 Lone Tree Road. And the event with the governor is open to the public, but those who want to attend need to RSVP. For that link, go to our website, crossroadstoday.com. The Victoria County Justice of the Peace Precinct 3 has canceled the jury trial scheduled for tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. If you're someone summoned for jury duty, you don't need to appear. The court will not reschedule this date. From couch surfing to sleeping in a car, what one teen story tells us about homelessness in rural Texas. Read this story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And we do have time for a final check of our forecast with Parker. Parker, right here, there's a pretty sunset out there.
Sunrise.
Oh, that's right, sunrise.
Yes. I don't worry, I get that wrong every morning. But good morning, folks. Nice, pretty sunrise, as Carol Williams was saying out there on the coast this morning, but revealing a nice chilly morning out there, about 45 out there on the coast out there, but also kind of running the same here in the Crossroads as well. Right now, about 43, and the rest of us starting out in the low 40s. But the good news is we're warming back up to the 70s, and for the rest of this week, we're going to be in that nice warm weather, and that's because we got a southerly wind returning to our area by this evening. But coming our way later this week, we've got more rain chances, cloud cover, and also more of those nice warming temperatures, Carolina.
All right, thank you, Parker, and thank you for joining us. Be sure to have a wonderful start to your Tuesday and follow us on YouTube, Crossroads Today, and join Karina, Don, Mac, and Zach today at 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Don't forget your chopsticks.